I did a lot of studying of Hogan, and I talked to Mo Norman and so on when I was playing a lot of golf in Canada. And the thing that I got very excited about was the legs and footwork and the feeling that you get when you're making a proper move through the golf ball. And one of the things that you realize, everything you execute in golf is executed on some sort of an arc. You're always turning around something. Even if you're making a move that feels linear, what you see is something that's moving in more of a circle. And I started thinking about torques and pressures and things in the feet. And I felt, as I made a backswing, that I could feel a circle being in the ground with my right leg as I turned around it. I could feel a similar circle in the left leg as I moved around. So I got excited about torques that were happening in the lower body, and I thought to myself, well, how can I move forward and not spend all that? So the idea is that I've got these pressures and these circles that are happening inside from the ball of my foot to the heel of my foot. This foot is trying to turn as I'm moving around it, because that's I'm making a move around this leg. And I'm going to make a move around this leg as well. But as I move forward, if I spend all that early, what I do is I come over the top, which is what most people have their biggest problem with. So the move really was just an idea about how I could turn around these feet and see if I could move back to the left without spending what I built on the backswing.
So we know that you guys aren't allowed to use spikes anymore, right? We know. I wear the longest they have, right? 9 millimeters. I already knew that I use my feet. You know, all the great players, they all use their feet with torques, right? Turned them in there and held them in there. Jackie Burke always told me, we're allowed to wear spikes at Champions Golf Club in Houston. He said, when Usain Bolt wears soft spikes to win the 100-meter dash, he said that's when we'll make the rule here at Champions that you'll have to wear soft spikes. Because, so why don't you hit a few and show us? Because Mike's got a great swing, and you're probably nervous, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Petrified.
Yeah, haven't done this in.
He comes fresh out of Canada, where he wrecked his car trying to get it out of the parking lot, just because it's not possible to get out of the parking lot.
we had an ice storm.
Normally you ski out.
Yeah.
So you've got it turned in, right?
Yeah. What I've got is I've got 2 feet that are trying to resist going the other way.
That's right.
I think that if you've got any kind of torque period. Anytime you've always got to have something to swing against, I guess, is the bottom line. I mean,
the interesting thing about this, what I saw on the internet was, you'll see when Mike hits, once you hit a couple, let's get that moving first, get you swinging. He's just some guy selling insurance. All right. He's just selling insurance up there. Go ahead. He was just selling insurance. And, going broke. Yeah, going broke. And go ahead, keep hitting. The interesting point to me was, as I've been around Mike, he comes down to Houston, we film, he'll walk out of the plane, he loves to hit drivers, like probably a lot of guys, and he hits drivers. It was so easy for him to hit the ball. And what I noticed on YouTube when I was watching Mike was, he torques those feet. You've got them clockwise, right? Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and you resist them. You resist them on the way back. I turn this one back. I use that one, but I turn this one this way. But the point is, he's using some internal resistance here. And then you sent the navel, right?
Yeah.
The second part of the move.
Well, how you move the left without losing all that torque is to move the middle.
Yeah.
So that really is it.
Explain that to everybody.
Well, the idea is, I mean, if we can talk about real quick about the idea that there's a shift in the swing plane. I've always felt that the shift in the swing plane really had nothing to do with your hands and arms. It has to do with a reorientation of the spine. You're here, and then you just reorientate the spine. So it's the base that moves down here, your navel that's moving, and that's getting you into position to hit, and that's moving you out of your own way. It's giving you free passage to the ball. And so really the move isn't a big leap to the left. It's just a move of the middle out of your own way so that you can give it a smash.
And it's fair enough to say that you represent pretty much the average looking Canadian, right? I mean, you're not like, specimen. I mean, you played hockey, you're low center of the gravity. You got a big ass, let's face it. This is something that you're able to do all the time. It's an easy thing for you to do.
I can do it 2 times in a row. I know that now.
Let's see if you can do it 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So why don't you walk us through, I'm sure the people I know this bit, but I'm sure they're slightly confused. Why don't you just tell us what you're doing here and what you're pushing against? Would you do that? Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Am I reading your minds?
Okay, well, I do better when I don't think about what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
But anyway,
So tell us
if I'm gonna go into the ball, these are the things that I'm gonna be putting into the game.
Putting pressure into, yes?
So I'm going to step up to the golf ball, and I'm going to get myself what I think is the distance I need to be away from that golf ball. I'm going to put my left foot in because this is where this is the foot that I'm going to be leaving. This is the foot that I'm going to be landing on. So I have to manage how I leave and how I land. And so how I land is going to dictate, and where I land is going to dictate what my ball position has to be. That's how because I have to find the golf ball. So I'm going to get onto the golf ball. I'm going to get my distance from the golf ball. And once I'm here, it looks like I'm just sort of moving from right to left with my feet. And once I've got myself feeling that I'm in position, then I kind of hunker down and I make this feel like if I was on ice, my foot would do this. At address, my foot would do this if I was on ice. And this foot would do this if I was on ice.
So both of them are going away from the target.
Both of them are going like that.
Away from the target.
That's right.
Yes,
and
right.
So those.
And I don't want to. I just want. They're both going away. So you're hunkered down, as you say, and you
Right.
feel it up in your legs and into your butt and into your back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it from here right up to here. Pressure.
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 Not at a 1 to 10, and 10's like too much. What are you, like a 5, a 4?
Yeah, I'd be about from the feet to the knees. I'd be about a 6.
Okay. So it's pretty good down there, and then it eases off a little bit.
Yeah, and then I get here, and that's about it. And then when I'm standing here, I've got an awareness of that this is where I want to get to.
You're gonna resist the turn. You're not trying to make a big turn.
No, I'm not.
He's not trying to make a big. He's trying to resist the body from wanting to go backwards.
For me,
He's holding it against it.
For me, if I go too far, I get slack.
Yeah.
I go beyond where I can go, and for me, I get slack.
Yeah.
And so then I can't. Then I can't
anything.
hit. No, it's over. The show's over.
Okay,
then.
so
It's all
let's
done.
run through that again. So you build both feet in, and you turn your pressures in. You got your pressures turned to these people.
That's right.
Back that away.
Right.
And you're going to go, but you're going to go because your intent is to make a backswing, but it's just holding you there stable.
Right. So if I think about what those feet are doing, if I go right now and I did it in slow motion, so I'll do that. I'm taking this golf club back here, and I'm moving back this way, and these feet are still both
That way.
that way.
Yeah.
So that's what
And you're using the gut against that force.
I'm using the gut against that force
All right.
and giving myself.
Everybody got it now? How he's doing it? Really?
Now it makes sense. What? Now it
This is
makes
what we
sense.
call internal talk, right? I mean, we know a lot of people do this. It's just have never been explained real good, right? And that's what I saw when I saw the move, right? That's why I called him on the phone. So it's easy for him to hit the ball, isn't it? Good work, Mike.
Get marked up.
I will. Good work. So you can see why I called him, right?